Imagine for a moment that you're standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves crash against the shore, and as far as your eye can see, there's nothing but water and possibility. That ocean, my friends, is your potential. It's deep, it's wide, and it's entirely yours. But here's the question: are you going to dip your toes in the shallows, or are you going to dive in and swim to depths you've never explored before? You see, the power to plunge into that ocean of potential doesn't come from me standing here. It doesn't come from the person sitting next to you. It comes from within you. You are your motivation, nobody else. Now, I want you to think about something. When you woke up this morning, who decided to get out of bed? Was it your mother, your boss, your spouse? No, it was you. You made that decision. You took that first step of the day, and every step after that, it was all you. But let me tell you something that might shock you. Most people are living their lives waiting for someone else to motivate them. They're waiting for a push, a nudge, a kick in the right direction. They're like cars with full tanks of gas, engines revving, but no one behind the wheel. And do you know what happens to those cars? They stay parked. They go nowhere. You, my friend, are not a parked car. You are a high-performance vehicle capable of incredible speeds and amazing feats. But here's the kicker. You're not just the car. You're the driver too. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what about inspirational speakers? What about motivational books and seminars? And yes, those things have their place. They can be spark plugs, igniting something within you. But spark plugs don't drive the car. You do. Let me share a story with you. Back in my day, I knew a young man named David. David was smart, talented, and had dreams bigger than the sky. But David was always waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to discover his talent, waiting for motivation to strike him like lightning. One day, I sat David down and asked him, if you were stranded on a desert island with no one around to push you, to encourage you, to motivate you, what would you do? Would you just sit there and wait for rescue, or would you start building a raft? David looked at me confused at first, but then something clicked. He realized that on that island, the only person he could rely on was himself. And in that moment, David had understood the truth that I'm sharing with you today. You are your motivation, nobody else. From that day forward, David stopped waiting. He started doing. He began to see every morning as a new chance to build his raft, to navigate his ocean of potential. And let me tell you, the transformation was incredible. Some of you might be thinking, that's great for David, but my situation is different. I have responsibilities, limitations, obstacles. And to that I say, absolutely, we all do. But here's the secret. Those responsibilities, limitations, and obstacles, they're not barriers. They're building blocks. Think about it. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every leap forward in human history came because someone looked at a problem and said, I'm going to solve this. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They motivated themselves to take action. You have that same power within you right now, at this very moment. But get me wrong, this power comes with a price. And that price is responsibility. When you truly accept that you are your own motivation, you can no longer blame others for your lack of progress. You can no longer point fingers at circumstances. You become fully accountable for your life, your choices, and your actions. And you know what? That's fantastic news. Because it means you're in control. You're in the driver's seat of your life. Now, I want you to do something for me. Close your eyes for a moment. Seriously, close them. Now, think about the biggest dream you have, the one that makes your heart race, the one that seems almost too big to be possible. Got it? Good. Now, open your eyes. That dream you saw, it's not too big. It's not impossible. But here's the truth. No one is going to hand it to you. No one is going to wake up one day and decide to make your dream come true. That job belongs to one person and one person only, you. You are the architect of your life. You are the sculptor of your destiny. But how do we tap into this internal wellspring of motivation? How do we keep it flowing when times get tough? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm about to share with you 5 powerful strategies to become your own greatest motivator. Number 1, set clear, compelling goals. Now, I'm not talking about vague wishes or half-hearted desires. I'm talking about crystal clear, vivid goals that excite you just thinking about them. Goals so compelling that they pull you out of bed in the morning eager to get started. You see, when your goals are clear and deeply meaningful to you, they become a source of constant motivation. They're like a lighthouse on the horizon, guiding you through stormy seas and foggy nights. What do I really want? What would make me out of bed with excitement every morning? What would make me feel like I'm living my purpose? Write these goals down. Make them specific. Make them measurable. Make them time-bound. And most importantly, make them yours. Number 2, develop a growth mindset. Now, this is crucial. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, your intelligence, your talents can be developed through effort, good teaching, and persistence. People with a fixed mindset believe their qualities are carved in stone, which creates an urgency to prove themselves over and over. But those with a growth mindset, they see challenges as opportunities to grow, to learn, to become better. When you have a growth mindset, setbacks don't discourage you. They energize you. Because you know that with each obstacle you overcome, you're becoming stronger, smarter, more capable. You're not just pursuing your goals, you're pursuing your own growth and development. Practice self-discipline. Now, I know discipline isn't the most exciting word. It doesn't get people fired up like a passion or dreams. But let me tell you something. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. It's what gets you to do what you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's what makes you stick to your diet when that cake is calling your name. It's what makes you hit the gym when your bed feels extra comfortable. Self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger your self-discipline, the more you can rely on yourself for motivation rather than external factors. Number 3, your progress. Too often we focus solely on the end goal, and we forget to acknowledge how far we've come. But recognizing your progress, no matter how small, is a powerful motivator. Did you make one more sales call than yesterday? Celebrate it. Did you write one more page of your book? Celebrate it. Did you resist a temptation that usually gets the better of you? By celebrating your progress, you're reinforcing positive behaviors. You're telling your brain, hey, this feels good. Let's do more of this. It creates a positive feedback loop that fuels your motivation from within. And number 5, surround yourself with positivity. Now, I know I said you are your motivation, and that's true. But that doesn't mean you should isolate yourself. We are influenced by our environment, whether we like it or not. So, choose your environment wisely. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you to be better, who inspire you with their own actions. Read books that expand your mind and fuel your ambitions. Listen to podcasts that fill you with ideas and energy. Your environment should be a greenhouse for your dreams, not a freezer. It should nurture your motivation, not drain it. Now, let's talk about something that many people misunderstand about motivation. They think it's all about feeling good, about being pumped up and excited all the time. But that's not true motivation. That's just emotion, and emotions are fleeting. True motivation, the kind that comes from within, is about commitment. It's about showing up every day, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. You see, motivation isn't about waiting for the stars to align. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect feeling. It's about creating that moment. It's about generating that feeling through your actions. Think about it, like, have you noticed how much easier it is to keep going once you've started? That's because action creates motivation, not the other way around. You don't wait until you feel motivated to start. You start, and then you become motivated. This is a powerful shift in thinking. Instead of saying, I'll do it when I feel motivated, you say, I'll do it, and that will make me feel motivated. Do you see the difference? One puts you at the mercy of your feelings. The other puts you in control. Now, I want to address something that I know some of you are thinking. But what about when things get really tough? What about when I face real setbacks and failures? Our friends, that's when being your own motivation becomes most crucial. Because let me tell you a secret. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every innovation came after a series of failures. Think about a baby learning to walk. That baby falls down hundreds of times, but does the baby give up? Does the baby say, well, I guess walking isn't for me? Of course not. The baby keeps trying, keeps pushing, keeps motivating itself to take one more step. You need to be like that baby. When you fall, when you fail, you need to be the one to pick yourself up. You need to be the one to say, I can do this. I will do this. I must do this. Remember, the darkest hour is just before the dawn. Often when things seem the toughest, when you feel like giving up, that's when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. But you'll never experience that breakthrough if you quit. So, how do you keep going when things get tough? You remind yourself of your all. What did you start this journey in the first place? What's driving you? What's that big, compelling goal that we talked about earlier? When you connect with your all, why is you tap into a wellspring of motivation that can carry you through the toughest times. Your why is like an anchor in a storm. It keeps you steady when the winds of adversity are blowing hard. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest motivation killers out there. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of the unknown. These fears can paralyze us, keeping us stuck in our comfort zones. Where is this false evidence appearing real? It's your mind playing tricks on you, showing you worst case scenarios that rarely, if ever, come true. When you're your own motivation, you learn to dance with fear. You acknowledge it, you respect it, but you don't let it lead. You say to your fear, I see you, I hear you, but I'm going to do this anyway. And you know what happens when you do that? You grow, you become stronger, you become more confident, and most importantly, you become more motivated because you've proven to yourself that you can overcome your fears. Now, I want to share with you a powerful technique for self-motivation. It's called visualization. Athletes use it, entrepreneurs use it, and you can use it too. Here's how it works. You close your eyes and you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goal. You see it, you feel it, you hear it. You engage all your senses to make this vision as real as possible. If your goal is to start a successful business, you visualize yourself in your office, making important decisions, seeing your product on shelves, hearing the phone ring with new orders. If your goal is to run a marathon, you visualize yourself crossing the finish line, feeling the metal around your neck, hearing the cheers of the crowd. This isn't daydreaming. This is mental rehearsal. It's programming your mind for success. When you visualize your success vividly and regularly, you're more motivated to take the actions necessary to turn that vision into reality. But remember, visualization without action is just imagination. You need to couple your visualization with consistent, purposeful action. That's where the real magic happens. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to motivation. Your physical state. Your mind and body are intimately connected. When your body is energized and healthy, your mind is more motivated and focused. So, take care of your physical health. Eat nutritious foods that fuel your body and mind. Exercise regularly. It's not just good for your body, it releases endorphins that boost your mood and motivation. Get enough sleep. A well-rested mind is a motivated mind. These might seem like small things, but they have a huge impact on your ability to motivate yourself. When you feel good physically, you're more likely to feel good mentally and emotionally. And when you feel good, you're more motivated to pursue your goals. Now, I want to address a common misconception about motivation. Many people think that if they're truly motivated, they should feel excited and energized all the time. Motivation isn't a constant state of excitement. It's not about feeling pumped up 24/7. Real motivation, the kind that comes from within, is more like a quiet determination. It's a steady flame, not a fireworks display. There will be days when you don't feel like doing anything. Days when your goals seem distant and your efforts seem pointless. That's normal, that's human. But here's where being your own motivation becomes crucial. On those days, you don't wait for motivation to magically appear. You create it through action. You do what needs to be done, not because you feel like it, but because it aligns with your goals and values. And more often than not, you'll find that the simple act of getting started reignites your motivation. Remember, motivation is not about how you feel. It's about what you do. Now let's talk about the power of habits. Habits are the building blocks of success. They're the small, consistent actions that over time lead to big results. When you're your own motivation, you focus on building positive habits that align with your goals. You don't rely on willpower alone because willpower is a limited resource. Instead, you create systems and routines that make it easier to do the right thing. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you might create a habit of writing for 30 minutes every morning before you do anything else. If your goal is to get in shape, you might lay out your workout clothes the night before, making it easier to hit the gym in the morning. These habits might seem small, but they're powerful. They reduce the need for constant decision making. They conserve your mental energy. And most importantly, they keep you moving towards your goals even on days when your motivation is low. Now, I want to talk about something that's often overlooked when it comes to motivation. Rest and renewal. Being your own motivation doesn't mean pushing yourself to the brink of exhaustion. It doesn't mean working 24/7 without a break. In fact, taking time to rest and recharge is crucial for maintaining long-term motivation. It's like recharging your batteries. When you're well rested and renewed, you have more energy to pursue your goals. You're more creative, more productive, and more motivated. So, build periods of rest into your routine. Take breaks during the day. Have a day off each week where you completely disconnect from work. Take vacations. Use this time to reflect on your progress, to reconnect with your wow, and to renew your commitment to your goals. Remember, motivation is not about burning yourself out. It's about creating a sustainable drive that can carry you toward your goals over the long haul. Now let's talk about the power of your words. The way you talk to yourself has a huge impact on your motivation. Are you your own cheerleader or are you your own critic? When you're your own motivation, you learn to master your self-talk. You replace negative, self-defeating thoughts with positive, empowering ones. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you say, I'm learning to do this. Instead of this is too hard, you say, this is challenging, but I'm up for it. This isn't about deluding yourself or ignoring real challenges. It's about framing things in a way that motivates you to take action rather than giving up. Your words create your reality. So choose words that inspire you, that push you forward, that remind you of your strength and capability. Now, as we start to wrap up our time together, I wanted to leave you with some final thoughts on being your own source of motivation. Remember, this journey of self-motivation is not a destination, but a lifelong process. It's about continually growing, learning, and pushing yourself to new heights. One of the most powerful tools in your self-motivation arsenal is reflection. Take time regularly to look back on your journey. Celebrate your victories, no matter how small. Learn from your setbacks. Hey, what worked well? What can I improve? What did I learn about myself? This practice of reflection serves two important purposes. First, it helps you recognize your progress, which is a powerful motivator in itself. Second, it allows you to refine your approach, making your efforts more effective over time. Another crucial aspect of being your own motivation is adaptability. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances change. New challenges arise. When you're your own motivation, you need to be able to adjust your sails when the winds of life change. This doesn't mean changing your core goals or values. Rather, it means being flexible in your approach. If one method isn't working, try another. If an opportunity you were counting on falls through, look for a different path. Your ability to adapt and persist in the face of change is a key factor in long-term success. Now let's talk about the power of community. Being your own motivation doesn't mean you have to go it alone. In fact, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals can significantly boost your motivation and drive. Seek out people who share your values and ambitions. Join groups or communities related to your goals. Attend events or workshops in your field of interest. These connections can provide support, accountability, and inspiration. However, remember that while others can support and encourage you, they can't do the work for you. The ultimate responsibility for your motivation still lies with you. Another powerful strategy for self-motivation is to become a lifelong learner. The world is constantly changing, and there's always something new to discover. When you commit to continuous learning, you open yourself up to new ideas, new perspectives, and new opportunities. Read books in your field and outside of it. Take courses. Attend seminars. Listen to podcasts. The more you learn, the more you'll be able to see connections and opportunities that others miss. And the excitement of learning and growth is a powerful motivator in itself. Now let's address a common pitfall in the journey of self-motivation: the comparison. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We see carefully curated highlights of other people's lives and achievements, and we may feel like we're falling behind. Everyone's journey is unique. Your path is yours alone. When you're your own motivation, you're not in competition with anyone else. You're in competition with yourself, striving to be better today than you were yesterday. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to your past self. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you moving closer to your goals? These are the comparisons that matter. Another crucial aspect of self-motivation is resilience. Life will throw curveballs at you. You will face setbacks, disappointments, and failures. It's not a matter of if, but when. The key is how you respond to these challenges. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's about getting up one more time than you fall down. When you're resilient, setbacks don't defeat you. They teach you. Failures don't define you. They refine you. Building resilience is like building a muscle. It takes practice and consistency. Each time you face a challenge and overcome it, you become stronger. You become more confident in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. One powerful way to build resilience is to reframe your view of challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, see them as opportunities. Opportunities to learn, to grow, to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure. The most beautiful pearls come from oysters that have been irritated by grains of sand. In the same way, some of your greatest strengths and achievements will come from overcoming your greatest challenge. Now, let's talk about the importance of celebrating your journey, not just your destination. When you're focused on a big goal, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that you'll only be happy or satisfied when you achieve that goal. But this mindset can be demotivating, especially if your goal is a long-term one. Instead, learn to find joy and satisfaction in the process itself. Celebrate the small wins along the way. Take pride in the effort you're putting in, the skills you're developing, the person you're becoming. This doesn't mean you lower your standards or settle for less than your ultimate goal. It means you recognize that the journey itself has value. It means you can be motivated and fulfilled right now, even as you're working towards something bigger. Another key aspect of being your own motivation is taking full responsibility for your life. It's easy to blame external circumstances for our lack of progress. We might say we don't have enough time or resources or support, but the truth is, there will always be obstacles and challenges. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. It means recognizing that you have the power to create opportunities, to find solutions, to make things happen. This mindset is incredibly empowering. When you take full responsibility for your life, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as the creator of your destiny. Now, let's discuss the power of gratitude in self-motivation. It might seem counterintuitive. After all, isn't motivation about striving for more? But cultivating gratitude can actually be a powerful motivator. When you regularly practice gratitude, you train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life. This positive focus can boost your mood, increase your energy, and enhance your overall motivation. Moreover, gratitude can help you appreciate the progress you've made, which can motivate you to keep going. It can help you recognize the resources and opportunities you have, inspiring you to make the most of them. Try starting each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be as simple as a good cup of coffee or a warm bed. This practice can set a positive tone for your day and boost your motivation. Another crucial element of self-motivation is having a clear sense of purpose. Your purpose is your why there, the reason behind everything you do. When you have a strong sense of purpose, it acts as a North Star, guiding you and motivating you even when the path is difficult. Your purpose doesn't have to be grandiose. It doesn't have to change the world, although it might. It just needs to be meaningful to you. Maybe your purpose is to create beautiful art that moves people. Maybe it's to build a successful business that provides for your family. Maybe it's to help others in your community. Whatever your purpose is, connect with it regularly. Remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. Let it fuel your motivation and guide your decisions. Now let's talk about the importance of self-care in maintaining long-term motivation. When you're driven and ambitious, it's easy to fall into the trap of constant hustle, neglecting your physical and mental health but this approach is not sustainable. True self-motivation involves taking care of yourself holistically. This means getting enough sleep, eating nutritious food, exercising regularly, and taking time for relaxation and fun. It means managing your stress levels and attending to your emotional needs. Remember, you are not a machine. You're a human being with physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. When you neglect these needs, your motivation and productivity will ultimately suffer. Think of self-care not as a luxury, but as a necessary part of your success strategy. When you're well-rested, healthy, and balanced, you have more energy and focus to pursue your goals. As we near the end of our time together, I want to emphasize the importance of patience in your journey of self-motivation. Real, lasting change takes time. Significant achievements don't happen overnight. In our world of instant gratification, it's easy to get discouraged when we don't see immediate results. But the most worthwhile goals often require sustained effort over time. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant the seed one day and expect to see a fully grown tree the next. It takes time, nurturing, and patience. But if you keep at it, consistently providing what the tree needs to grow, eventually you'll have a strong, mature tree that bears fruit. Your goals and dreams are like that tree. Keep nurturing them with consistent effort. Keep believing in them. Keep motivating yourself to take action day after day. And finally, remember that being your own motivation is a skill. Like any skill, it takes practice to develop. There will be days when it's easier and days when it's harder. But with consistent effort and the strategies we've discussed, you can strengthen your ability to motivate yourself. You have within you an incredible power. The power to shape your life, to pursue your dreams, to become the person you want to be. That power starts with being your own motivation. So go forward with confidence, believe in yourself, set big goals and take small, consistent steps towards them. Celebrate your progress. Learn from your setbacks. And always remember, nobody else. A journey ahead may not be easy, but it will be worth it. And you have everything you need within you to succeed. Now, it's time to take that first step. Your future is waiting. Go create it.